Hello and welcome. I am Deji Badimasi and this is Analysis. Nigeria's security challenges appears to be getting worse by the day. Again, suspected terrorists have launched a ferocious attack on Kuje Correctional Center on Tuesday night, freeing no less than 600 inmates, including high-profile Boko Haram fighters detained at the facility. Now, the facility came under attack at about 10:20 p.m. when what was suspected to be a high-caliber bomb went off, followed by two more explosions and an ensuing sporadic gunfire that sent residents scampering for safety. Confirming the attack, the Nigerian Correctional Service, in a statement released on Wednesday, explained that a total of 879 inmates escaped from the facility during the unfortunate attack, out of which 443 have been recaptured. 551 inmates are currently in custody, and of course 443 inmates are still at large. During his visit to the site of the attack, Minister of Defense Bashir Magashi clarified that the situation is under control, but that all the Boko Haram suspects in detention in the facility have escaped, and the number is put at actually 64. And while this attack is coming just hours after President Muhammadu Buhari's advanced security guard protocol was attacked by suspected terrorists now in Katsina at a place called Dotsima. President Buhari was going to take a Salah trip actually to his hometown in Daura when the gunmen opened fire on his advanced convoy, killing 2 and injuring several others. Well, the security situation in the country at the moment appears to be getting worse, and joining me on the program right now to discuss this further is security expert and former director of the Department of State Services, Dennis Amakri. He joins us from the United States of America. Mr. Amakri, thank you very much for joining us. What exactly is going on? Why does it appear? It appears our security situation is getting worse. Apart from this attack on the correctional facility, the attack on President Buhari's convoy, we had a recent attack in Kaduna. We had another one. Of course, we can't stop talking about the one in Owo, in Ondo State. There've just been a series of attacks across the country. What exactly is going on?
Thank you for having me. You know, we have a lot of security problems across the country. You know, this is just one of them. You know, and the way we tackle it, the way we handle it is most important. You know, we have security intelligence reports warning people about the imminent attack, but apparently nobody paid attention to them.
As is the case with the correctional facility attack, because we understand there was intelligence that attack was going to happen.
Just like Owerri, remember, there was, you know, intelligence report, the same thing with Kuje, but apparently nobody wants to take heed of what they are supposed to do. The prison facility, the correctional center, is nothing to write home about. All the designs are wrong. All the designs are poor. People can just, a determined attacker will always go in, just like what we've seen today, this last attack. So I think people have to wake up to their responsibility, because these things are happening and nobody is questioned or brought to, to book about the failure. Because for the prisons itself to be attacked again, I think the director of prisons or whoever is in charge of the prisons should wake up and do his job.
But how is it? How is it? Because you're a former security personnel. How is it that intelligence will be provided and somehow not much would be done about that intelligence? Because what we're learning is that intelligence was provided, but then you look at the way these terrorists were able to carry out the attack, penetrate the prison walls, and then the inmates escaping. You would have thought that, you know, security ought to have been beefed up seriously around that area. Is this a case of the authorities, those in charge, not taking these intelligence reports seriously? How do you explain
That's it.
this?
That is it. You've just said it. They're not taking intelligence reports seriously. You know, the one in Owerri, the intelligence was provided weeks before that time. They didn't do anything until it was attacked. This particular one, the DSS gave them that particular intelligence, and they went ahead and played around with it. I don't know why, but some people believe that, no problem, nothing will happen. But it shows that the people that are responsible for these facilities are not serious, or they don't know what to do. Because when you look at it, there were recommendations about how to improve the security of these correctional centers. But I don't think any of them was done. The designs are still the same way we had them. They don't prevent anybody. The procedures are not followed because apparently nobody knew that they were already trying to place a bomb on the walls. There are no floodlights, security searchlights that are swinging around at the towers to show that, if you are coming, you have to be detected.
And funny enough, there's a tower at that prison because you could clearly see the tower. So it's surprising that from that watchtower, there was, whoever was there, the security personnel who were there, just didn't see anything.
I believe either he must be sleeping if he's there, or he was not there. Because for a high-profile prison like Kuje, where you have high-profile people, at the same time you have Boko Haram. These are the same Boko Haram people that, remember, they were saying the government should release them in exchange for some people that were taking hostages. And all these people were there. And this should call the attention of the security officials to make sure that at least they practice defense in depth. That is, before you can come out from outside and go into the prison, up to where you are going to open the cells and remove those people, it will take you some time. But that was not done.
Obviously, that wasn't done because, if that was done and if we had learnt our lessons from the Owerri attack, then this ought not to have happened. But let's even go back to that Owerri attack and, try to look at the implication of this attack. One of the things we saw with the Owerri attack was that after that attack happened, the level of crime, level of banditry, if you like, in the southeast increased. And quite a number of those who would eventually be caught, some of the criminals and bandits who were caught, it turned out that they all escaped from the Owerri prison. The same thing with what we had in Benin when that prison too was stormed during the End SARS protest. Most of the criminals who were caught around that time committing crimes all came from that prison. Now, what is the implication of this? Because apart from these Boko Haram suspects now who have escaped, we understand some high-profile kidnappers, hardened kidnappers also escaped.
Yes. Now, in fact, that is something that people have to watch out for. In the next 1 week, in fact, starting from now, you will find out that people's homes will be invaded because the prisoners, some of them will be looking for clothes to change. They'll be looking for food. They'll be looking for money. Some will even be looking for cars with which they could move around with. So in that environment, around the Federal Capital Territory environment, you will have a lot of criminals, running around, trying to find a living. Some will look for money, some will change their clothes so that they can even leave town. to go to other areas, but it heightens, it increases the security of the Federal Capital Territory.
Okay, let's talk about that attack now on the president's convoy. I mean, for me, that was a bold attack, very, very bold. I don't know if the attackers even knew the president was not in that convoy. They probably assumed he was there, and they still went on to attack. What exactly does it say? Because that's quite worrying that a president's convoy would be attacked in broad daylight.
Oh yeah, president convoys are supposed to be attacked because the president is a protected person. And then, because he's a protected person, if you see the level of security that goes with him, it tells you that yes, this convoy can be attacked. That's why they have that number of security around his cars or around his convoy. So, in this particular case, they might be thinking that he was in it because Salah is coming up, and definitely they believe that he might be in it, or being an advanced party. I don't think they knew that it was an advanced party, but it will be attacked. But one good thing I like about what happened here is that they repelled them. Although there were casualties, but they repelled them. That means they were on. Even if the president was there, they would have taken him away. But convoys are meant to be attacked. And that's why they have that level of security around them.
I think that makes sense now. Let's talk about the Shiroro attack. I mean, that's another daring one. From what we are gathering now, even though the army hasn't confirmed, over 30 soldiers were killed in that attack. A number of policemen killed and civilians killed as well. I mean, such a high casualty. And this was clearly an ambush. What do you make of it?
It is really sad because it's very, very embarrassing. And it is sad that we have a lot of soldiers dying like this, trying to protect critical infrastructures. And I strongly believe that we need to do more. We need to do more about our security, about our, because the person attacking you usually observe you. They will look at the situation where you are, you don't see them, and they are watching you, and they know when to strike. So for people who are on duties like that, instead of relaxing, just carrying their gun and walking around, should be more serious. Honestly, sometimes it bothers me when I see even security guards who are supposed to be maybe protecting a building or standing there. You see them sleeping, sitting down, gisting with granite sellers, just doing whatever they like, because it shows you that they don't know why they are there. And a very determined person, an attacker, can actually penetrate that area and cause havoc. So that is the situation we find ourselves.
Finally, let me ask you this. Look, we have a huge security challenge, and it's definitely not going to be easy to fix this. I mean, whether by this government or any government in future, let's not deceive ourselves. It's not going to be easy to fix this. But you look at the manpower, security manpower we have in this country. Don't you think that should be the starting point? That we just need to, quadruple whatever number we have at the moment. Because it appears these terrorists are also using the advantage of numbers. I mean, you have them operating almost everywhere in the northwest let me just say everywhere in the north. And then you now have them in the south as well, in the southeast. So the number of security personnel you would need to deal with this, we just don't have them.
Yes. Well, you see, you've said it all. Where we are not serious about this war that we are prosecuting. As far as I'm concerned, Nigeria is under war. We are fighting a war. You know, we have renegade soldiers, or should we call them bandits or terrorists, but they are soldiers. They are fighting our own soldiers. And as they are fighting this, people are dying. And as people are dying, during war, what usually happens is that when the country discover that many people are dying, they now conscript people to join.
Do you think we've gotten to that stage where conscription will be required?
No, we have not got to the level of conscription. But what we can do right now is to recruit.
Of course, I mean, in fairness, recruitment is happening, no doubt. I mean, recruitment is happening.
It's not enough.
The other time, not quite long ago, I think about a week ago, about 4,000 plus soldiers were completed their recruitment training, and close to 10,000, was it this week, close to 10,000 policemen to join the force. But the problem is that, you know, the numbers are still not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough. Because if you do a comparative study, when you go to places like, I will always go to Egypt. Egypt is like us because they have this almost same level of population with us. You know, they're about 190 or 95 million people. We are 200 or 210 million people. But when you look at their police force alone is 1 billion. 1 million people. Can you imagine? Compare that to our own that is not even up to one. It's not up to. It's not up to half a million.
It's not. It's not up to. It's just around maybe 200 or 300. Yes.
Yeah. So when you look at this and then think of our army, Navy, Air Force, they are not up to 1 billion.
Not even up to 500.
So you find out that when you look at this compared to our population, we are still lagging behind because you have to recruit these people. If you recruit them, we can overwhelm these people. But when we are fighting, they kill people at Shiroro, we rush down there, we put policemen and soldiers there, they attack in Zamfara, we move to that place, we are just running around. I don't think that's a very good strategy.
Yeah, that's true. And I think I agree with you. And it appears that's exactly what we've been doing. You know, and these bad people, these terrorists know this, and, you know, they attack in location A. Before the security agents arrive there, they've moved to location B. And I just can't but agree with you. Thank you very much, Mr. Dennis Amakre, for joining us on the program and for sharing your thoughts with us on this very burning issue.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. All right, we'll take a short break now and we'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, let's continue this discussion on that Shiroro attack, and now being joined by Abdullahi Yerima, who is a retired assistant superintendent of police, and he is a former chairman of Shiroro local government area. He joins us live from Abuja. Mr. Yerima, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Please help us to shed some light on what exactly happened during that attack where quite a number of soldiers were killed at Shiroro.
Yeah. On the Wednesday last week, bandits attacked a mining site at Ajatan Aboki village between Erana and Grumana ward in Shiroro local government of Niger State, trying to kidnap, or they kidnapped about 6 Chinese nationals. On the process, they were firing sporadically, killing the locals. The information was relayed to the security agencies, the army, the police, the mobile police, and they mobilized themselves together with the unconventional securities, that is, the local vigilantes. On going to the site, they were ambushed by the army, by the bandits. The bandits ambushed the army with all the security agencies and killed several army personnel. As at now, we have recorded not less than 33 army that were killed, 7 mobile personnel, and uncounted civilians. Because up to now, when the locals go to their farm, they will find a dead body. So nobody can ascertain the real number of the locals being killed there. As even some locals are no more reporting the death because they thought nothing will be done by the government. Everybody is carrying his corpse and go and buried it in his own burial ground. Now, however, this is not the first time. Between 2020, 2021, similar things has happened where the bandits ambush army personnel in Galadima Kogo along Erina Road, the same local government, and kill 11 army personnel, 17 mobile policemen in one day with 1 civilian. They came on another attack and rustled not less than 2,000 cows in a day in Erina. Uncountable accounts. There was a time they even came and dislodged army in Erina town, burned their helos. The most recent ones are about 2 to 3 months ago, they attacked Galadima Kogo, bombed nearly half of Galadima Kogo. Almost all the routes entering Galadima Kogo and Erina, bombs were found there. For almost 1 to 2 weeks that the police bomb personnel were there excavating bombs.
Now, are you sure these are just bandits or these are terrorists? Maybe Boko Haram
Civil
terrorists,
defense
because we know that, for
officers.
instance, Boko Haram and ISWAP are said to be operating in parts of Niger State. So, are these just ordinary bandits for them to have such firepower?
However, we did not suspect mostly that they are bandits. We have been crying that there are presence of Boko Harams in that area. All they will tell us they are headsmen. There was a time they took over a village called where they went and hosted a flag as Boko Haram around Kusasun area. So they took over so many villages. They are there in the bush. We have been crying. No serious actions has been taken to raid these people. We were told that the president released about 4 war helicopters to assist in fighting them. But up to now, it's a problem because we are here, we are sharing boundary with Biriningwari, in which Biriningwari share boundary with Dansado in Zamfara State. It's a route. About 3 to 4 local governments in that area that have mineral resources, and they are always being mined. Up to now, as I'm talking to you, they are still mining there. Instead of the government to take necessary measures. Last year, the government gave a kangaroo order that no mining activities again in Niger State. But the order was never implemented. However, we had another kangaroo order yesterday by the state government that only 3 local governments, Rafi, Shiroro, and Muya, there should be no mining activities due to insecurity. And it's not only those local governments. Even part of Paikoro local government is affected around Kafinkoro and Chimbi area, Aduno and so on. So it is our wish that the federal government will look into our predicament.
How are your people able to survive with the presence of the bandits and terrorists there? How is life like in Shiroro now?
I don't find people there now anyhow. They are scattered. Even there is no organized IDPs for them.
So it's a terrible situation. Are people able to go to farm because of all of these insecurity problems, especially in Shiroro?
When they are scared of their coming back, because that's how they will do 2 days or after a month or a few weeks, they will come back. People are scared now. We don't know how our people are going to do by the next season, because this farming season is not in the favor of our people.
What are you doing? What are you doing to help and assist the security agencies to do their work? Because this last attack that happened, which was an ambush, somebody must have tipped them off, I mean the bandits, before they now laid ambush and attacked the soldiers. So what is your community, what is the people of Shiroro, what are they doing to help the security agencies to fight these bandits?
Well, we are handicapped. Number one, financially, we are handicapped because our people are peasant farmers. We only depend on that farming, and we have no money, even if allowed, to buy arms to defend ourselves. Our people don't have such money. And by the way, the federal government is saying nobody is allowed to buy a sophisticated arms. Even the soldiers that have sophisticated arms could not face them. Even the APC, the person, the armored carrier, was seized by the bandits. It only later sank in the soil. If not, if you don't have a sophisticated weapon, you cannot fight them.
So what exactly do you want the government to do? And what are your people? I still have to ask that question. What is the community doing to help the military in terms of providing information? Because whether we like it or not, there will be people within the community who are giving this terrorist information.
Yes. What we want the government to do for us now, to remedy or to assist our people to stay there and continue their farming activities, is one, by providing either these surveillance helicopters, by surveying and always on surveillance, and the ground troops always ready, enough ground troops, because you bring 100 soldiers or 200 soldiers and they are coming in thousands. People will come with about 400 to 500 motorbikes, carrying three people each person with sophisticated arms. So if possible, we want federal government to establish a military camp in Erana, which is the center of the whole area, so that to be backed up with Nigeria Air Force surveillance helicopters, and also to assist our people with agricultural inputs such as chemical and fertilizers, if possible, with farming implements like tractors to assist our people to go back to their farms.
Finally, before I let you go, do you think that the reason why these terrorists and bandits continue to carry out attacks in Shiroro is because of the mining activities that are taking place there?
Yeah, I'm of the opinion of that is because of the mining activities. Even if they are claiming they came there to kidnap Chinese, I'm not of that opinion. I'm of the opinion that they came there to scare us, the indigenes of that area around, so that we shall abandon our area for them to do whatever they want to do.
What do you think they want to do?
Yeah, to continue with their mining activities as they want it.
Okay, so the bandits also carry out mining activities?
No, the bandit doesn't carry out, but they can be sponsored.
All right. Retired Assistant Superintendent of Police Abdullahi Yerima, thank you very much for talking to us, and thank you for shedding more light on that attack, that unfortunate attack. Thank you very much for your time. Well, that's how much we can take on the program this week. We thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.